Hello guys, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. So in today's class we are going to discuss about different extra preparation methods of haloalkanes and haloarenes. In the previous video we have discussed about several preparations of haloalkanes using alcohols, and for that alcohol we use different reagents in order to get alcohol, haloalkanes. Now we are going to use second type of process of preparation of haloalkane. In that we are going to use now alkanes. So, we are going to prepare haloalkane using alkanes. As we all know, alkanes are those compounds which have sigma bonds attached with hydrogen atoms or carbon atoms. So, they don't have any double bond or triple bond, which makes them more stable against any addition reactions. So, what we have to do is we need to just substitute them. So, what we have to do in case of haloalkanes are, in order to gain our haloalkane from alkanes, we need to undergo a substitution process. We need to make a substitution process instead of any other addition or replacement thing. So therefore, when we have to replace a certain atom of present in an alkane, we usually use a process of halogenation, that is in the presence of diffused sunlight. So whenever you use a diffused sunlight for addition of chlorine, bromine or iodine, we can use substitution process of that kind, and that type of substitution is called free radical substitution. So we are going to make a free radical substitution for alkanes in order to get our desired haloalkane. So for example, when we treat an alkane compound, let us say RCH2H. So this is our alkane compound. So we are treating this alkane compound with a molecule of halogen, let us say chlorine. Usually what we do is we carry out chlorine reaction, that is chlorination process. So when we treat chlorine molecule with our alkane compound, in the presence of diffused sunlight, we observe the formation of our haloalkane, that is nothing but our chloroalkane in the form of such as like this RCH2Cl with liberation of hydrochloric acid, HCl gas. So this is about the preparation of haloalkane using alkanes through free radical mechanism. What happens is the bonds between the carbon and hydrogen breaks down to form two radicals, one on carbon and one on hydrogen. Similarly, chlorine bonds break down to form two chloride radical. So those chloride radical bonded up with the radical present on carbon to form our haloalkanes. Usually whenever you treat chlorination process for higher alkanes, we get more than one products. Whenever you treat chlorination reaction for a different alkanes with more number of carbon atoms, let us say more than 3 carbon atoms, then we usually get more than 2 or 4 products. Like for example, let us consider an example. If you are treating CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3, so this is our N-butane. If you are treating N-butane with chlorine in presence of sunlight, what we observe is we get more than 2 compounds. So one is, it might be substituted to the terminal carbon, or it may be substituted to the non-terminal carbon. So CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2Cl plus CH3, CH2, CHCl, CH3. So these are the two types of products which can be obtained when we treat chlorine with our N-butane. So we have two isomers. So these two types of products are called isomers of a hydrocarbon, where they have same molecular formula but different structural formula. Okay. So whenever you treat chlorine with more than 3 carbon atom alkane compound, we get more than 2 isomers of that particular alkane. So that being said, we can say that haloalkanes can be prepared, especially chloroalkanes can be prepared when we treat chlorine with alkanes in the presence of diffused sunlight. So what happens here is we substitute chlorine molecules, chlorine radicals with hydrogen through free radical mechanism. So this is about preparation of haloalkane using alkanes. So this is only one method for preparation of haloalkane from alkanes. Next we are going to discuss about is preparation of haloalkane from alkenes. So what if we use alkenes? What if we use alkenes instead of alkanes? For preparation of haloalkanes from alkenes, we have multiple reactions. Out of that, the first one is from alkenes. Out of that, first one, using hydrogen halide. When alkenes are treated with hydrogen halide in presence of reagents such as acetic acid, we get a reaction which follows Markovnikov rule. In presence of acetic acid, when we treat alkene with hydrogen halides, in presence of acetic acid, we observe a reaction which follows addition through Markovnikov rule. So Markovnikov rule, what does it say? Whenever we add hydrogen halide to an asymmetrical alkene compound, hydrocarbon, we observe that halogen atom should go to that carbon which involves in double bond and should have lesser number of hydrogen atoms. So if we consider an alkene such as RCH double bond CH2, if you are adding hydrogen halide to this alkene in presence of acetic acid, this reaction follows Markovnikov rule. So here hydrogen can get added to either of the carbon atoms. We can get two products, but out of those two, one will be major, that is which is following Markovnikov rules addition. So that is one will be RCH2X. One more product will be RCHX-CH2H. So out of these two products, this will be our major product. This is because the hydrogen halide added has a halogen atom getting attached to that carbon atom which involved in a double bond and has lesser number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, so this is about the addition of hydrogen halide to alkenes to prepare our haloalkane. So if you consider for an example, let us say CH3, CH double bond, CH the single bond, CH3. So in this case we have symmetrical alkene. That is, if you take the point of double bond present here, there are equal number of carbon atoms and hydrogen atoms on both sides. So it doesn't matter where the hydrogen halide gets attached. So for this reaction, on treating with acetic acid, it forms CH3, CH, X, CH, H, CH3. So this is our product. So here we are treating 2-butene with HCl to get 2-chlorobutane. So this is about preparation of hydrogen halide using acetic acid. If you consider you have to prepare a product in which you have desired that the halogen should be attached to this carbon. So as I said in this example, if this is the major product, then this will be our minor product. So now you must prepare a haloalkane where halogen should get attached to a carbon which is having more number of hydrogen atom and should involve in a double bond. In that type of condition, what we do is we treat the same alkane with same hydrogen halide, but instead of taking acetic acid, we use hydrogen peroxide. So instead of taking acetic acid, if you consider hydrogen peroxide, what happens is the compound in which halogen is attached to carbon with more number of hydrogen atoms and already involved in a double bond. That means halogen will be attached to that carbon which has a higher number of hydrogen atoms and also involved in a double bond. So then we'll get this compound as a major. This will be our major and this will be our minor compound or minor product. So in a usual process of addition of hydrogen halide to alkene, if we use acetic acid, there we follow Markovnikov rule, where the halogen atom of hydrogen halide attaches to that carbon atom involved in a double bond and having less number of hydrogen atom. If we are using hydrogen peroxide instead of acetic acid, then the addition of hydrogen halide follows anti-Markovnikov rule, where the halogen atom will get attached to that carbon atom involved in a double bond and also has a higher number of hydrogen atoms. So this is how we observe or prepare halogens and haloalkane with alkenes. Next, we are going to treat alkenes with a different compound, that is chlorine compound. So if you have to treat or if you have to prepare dihaloalkanes, then we can use alkanes itself. That is, whenever we use an alkene and treat them with molecule of halogen. Second one is using halogens. Whenever you treat alkenes, let us say RCH, double bond CH, R. So whenever you treat alkenes with halogen atoms such as X2, usually we take here is chlorine molecules or bromine molecule, but not iodine or fluorine. So usually halogens which are used for this process are either chlorine molecule or bromine molecule. In the presence of carbon tetrachloride, they give us disubstituted haloalkane, that is our dihaloalkanes. So if you treat an alkene with a molecule of halogen in presence of carbon tetrachloride, we prepare dihaloalkane of this type, RCHX, CHX with R. So alkenes, when treated with halogens taken in carbon tetrachloride, we prepare dihaloalkane. So we'll consider an example. CH3, CH, double bond CH2. This is our propene. When propene is treated with a molecule of chlorine in presence of carbon tetrachloride, we get 1,2-dichloropropane, that is CH3, CHCl, CH2Cl. So this is 1,2-dichloropropane. This is 1,2-dichloropropane. So this is how we prepare alkenes from halogens. So these are the two methods which we consider for preparation of haloalkanes from alkenes. So next we are going to discuss about preparation of alkenes using different haloalkane compounds. We have two types for that. One is using sodium iodide, which is a Finkelstein method, and the other one will be Schwartz reaction. Next is preparation of haloalkanes from other haloalkane compounds using halogen exchange method. So if you consider the examples which I have explained for the preparation of haloalkanes, in all those examples we have specifically used either chlorine or bromine, right? We usually used chlorine or bromine. So now we haven't prepared or we haven't observed any preparation methods involving iodine or fluorine. So therefore what we do is we prepare a bromohaloalkane or bromoalkane or chloroalkane, and then we subject them to this method of preparation that is called as halogen exchange method. So this halogen exchange method involves exchange of one halogen atom which is already present in the haloalkane by treating them with a different halide metal, and exchanging those ions with suitable reagents. Like for example, we have two methods for this. One is Finkelstein method of preparing iodoalkane, Finkelstein method of preparation for iodoalkane, and then we have one more method for preparation of iodoalkane or fluoroalkane, that is Schwartz process. First we will discuss about Finkelstein method. So this Finkelstein's method involves treating our chloroalkane or bromoalkane with sodium iodide. When we treat our alkane or haloalkane molecule, let us say, we'll directly take our example, CH3CH2Br. When we treat CH3CH2Br with sodium iodide in presence of acetone. So here the use of acetone is because sodium iodide is soluble in acetone. If you consider for sodium chloride or sodium bromide, those two will not be soluble in acetone. So therefore, we consider sodium iodide taken in acetone, and further acetone liberates off easily, so it will be easier for us to remove the product form. So when we treat our haloalkane, especially bromoalkane or chloroalkane, with sodium iodide in presence of acetone, it undergoes ion exchange method, that is, bromide present in the haloalkane will be shifted to sodium atom and iodine present over there will be shifted to alkane. So thus giving us CH3, CH2I along with sodium bromide. So this is for the preparation of iodoalkane using Finkelstein method. Using this process we can just prepare sodium or iodoalkane. We cannot prepare bromoalkane or chloroalkane using this method. So in this method what we do is we treat our bromoalkane or chloroalkane with sodium iodide, which is taken dissolved in acetone to form CH3, CH2I. So this is for the preparation of iodoalkane from Finkelstein method. Next is Schwartz process. So in Schwartz process what we do is we treat our metal alkyl halide or haloalkane with metallic fluorides such as mercuric fluoride, silver fluoride, or we can treat them with cobalt fluoride, etc. So in this method, that is our second method of preparation, that is Schwartz process. So in Schwartz process what we do is we treat our haloalkane with compounds such as AgF, silver fluoride, Hg2F2, mercuric fluoride, COF3, cobalt trifluoride, etc. in order to replace respective number of halogens from our haloalkane. If you have to replace one halogen from our haloalkane, then you can use silver fluoride. If you have to remove or replace two or more halogens from our haloalkane in a dihaloalkane or trihaloalkane, you can use mercuric fluoride and cobalt trifluoride. So what happens here is when we treat our haloalkane CH3Cl with silver fluoride, we observe ion halogen exchange method where we get CH3F and AgI. So this is the method of preparation using Schwartz process. If you have to replace two or more halogens which are attached to same carbon atom, let us say geminal halides such as CH3, CH, Cl, Cl. So then treat them with mercuric fluoride such as HgF2, or you can also treat them with cobalt trifluoride. So this leaves us an halogen exchange method where we get CH3, CH, F and F. Instead of fluorine, you can also use silver iodide in order to prepare respective iodoalkane. Okay, so in this method what we do is we treat our haloalkane, especially chloroalkane and bromoalkane with respective silver fluoride, mercuric fluoride and cobalt trifluoride. On treating them with each of them, we replace or exchange one of the halogen with the halogen which we have taken. Okay, so these are the different methods of preparation of haloalkanes. Okay, so the videos which I have uploaded today and in the previous video, these two are completely related to the preparation of haloalkanes from different compounds. In the next video, we are going to discuss about preparation of haloarenes using certain methods, and also we are going to discuss about the physical properties of haloalkane and haloarenes in that video itself. Okay, so this is all about for today. If you understood the concepts which I explained in this class, please do subscribe to my channel and like if you have understood completely. And if you have any doubts regarding any of the reactions which I have explained, please do comment down below, or you can mail me those doubts to my mail ID which I have provided you in the description box. Thank you for watching.